Aloha, my name is Hyoung-June Park. Today I will talk about stylistic reproductions of Mondrian's composition with red, yellow, and blue. The motivation for generating stylistic reproductions conducted in this paper comes from the design of a building facade that delineates the proportional patterns embedded in Mondrian's painting. His painting is known to be the artifact of delivering living rhythm, which is the essence of dynamic equilibrium created from proportions. In his plastic art and pure plastic art, Mondrian explains that the development of the dynamic equilibrium guides the development of the laws that consist of the relationship of position and dimension of the constructive elements in the painting. Grammars have been applied for the analysis and synthesis of various artifacts, including buildings, artworks, industrial products, and historical contents. The set of shape rules with the basic elements and their transformational relationships represent the morphological structure of the given artifact in shape grammars. Furthermore, shape grammars have been employed for understanding design styles and languages. Shape grammars represent style, and shape grammars explain the purpose of the style characterization with the clarification of the underlying commonality embedded in a given artifact, and also with providing a prototype for the style and as a compositional machinery for new instances of the style. And also shape grammars explain with its descriptive power to reveal intrinsic simplicity or regularities in designs. With maintaining an embedded style, shape grammars allow a designer to generate infinite variations of an artifact by changing parametric values of the morphological structure of the artifact. The dimensions of 36 line segments are identified as essential design components of the painting. The design schema of the painting is illustrated on the screen. The decomposition of the original structure with the schema becomes the basis of defining the geometric relationship in order to perform the parametric variations of the original painting. With the schema, the 36 line segments are defined as design variables. The reconstructed geometric representation of the painting is illustrated with the dimensions in the figure on the screen, and also the schema, design schema, what translate into the design rules in the script on the screen. The relationships between the parts and the whole are treated in mathematics as commensurability. Commensurability among three ordered terms and their differences is established when they have equality among their proportional relationships. When the commensurability is achieved among them, we achieve a proportional equilibrium among the parts and the whole. There are 11 ways of representing three-ordered numbers and their differences with the equalities of the ratios among them, which were developed by ancient Greek mathematicians. The 11 ways of representing the equalities of the ratios among the three-ordered numbers and their differences are defined as proportionality, as you see on the screen. The goal of the optimization is to maximize proportionality value, the essence of Mondrian style, that is dynamic equilibrium embedded in the painting. The proportionality values from the combination of 36 variables are employed as fitness criteria for the optimization of the painting. The objective function of the proportionality synthesis on the painting is to minimize remainder value of the dimensions from the 36 design variables in the computation of proportionality. By minimizing the remainder value subject to the values of the design variables, we are able to achieve the maximization of the proportionality value. The computation of the objective functions start with calculating the triplets of all the dimensions of the design variables. Results for all the triplet combinations of the 36 variables are aggregated statistically. And the individual proportionality value is computed as a percent of the number of triplets observing a proportionality relative to the total number of the triplet combinations. After that, the proportionality value is defined as the sum of the 11 different proportionality values. The computation of the individual proportionality value pk, proportionality value vp, and remainder value vr are illustrated on the screen. In order to avoid any anomalies, various constraints were set. If the morphological structure established by the dimensions violates any given constraint, as is shown on the screen, then the set of the dimensions computed from the input range is filtered and not passed on to the optimization process by penalty functions. There are 5 basic constraints necessary for maintaining the essence of the design of the Mondrian's painting: overlap, adjacency, rectangular shape, boundary configuration, and positive proportionality value. The receptor and effector are the user interface to perform a guided search for formal structure of Mondrian's painting that reaches to the optimal proportionality value. The receptor includes design definition, genetic algorithm setting, input variables, and reset and execute. The effector includes outputs such as plot of the optimization process and morphological transformations. There are 3 stages of an optimization process on the user interface: initial stage, evaluation stage, and representation stage. At the initial stage, the application provides the original parametric values of the Mondrian's painting and its morphological structure as a default. The output from the optimization conducted with the proportionality synthesis on the painting has 4 different output formats. First one is a text file that shows the remainder value and the best set of dimensions at each generation. Second is a visual representation in 2 different formats, such as line drawings and color field drawings. The third is a screen capture of the input setting and its evolutionary optimization process. And the last one is an animation made of the series of the visual representations of the best design at each generation. The first approach in stylistic reproductions is to tune or reconstruct the original painting with maximizing proportionality value. Through the tuning, the proportionality value went up to 18.2%, even with 0% tolerance, when the proportionality value of the original painting was 12.5% with 2.9% tolerance. The second approach allows a user to generate the stylistic reproductions of the original painting as its morphological descendants by performing a guided optimization. With this approach, various morphological transformations with maximizing the proportionality values embedded in the formal structure of the painting have been generated, as you see on the screen. The ranges of the dimensions of input variables are defined according to a user's concept within the receptors of the synthesis component in MATLAB. Accordingly, the animation of the alternatives is reviewed to adjust the optimum with the narrowing down the ranges of the input dimensions. With continuing the procedures, 4 stylistic reproductions of the original were generated in the consideration of the proportionality value of the design and a user's design concept. As the outcomes of the optimization, 2 types of the stylistic reproductions were presented in this paper. The higher quality of the proportional balance of the painting was tuned and restored. The proportionality values of the tuned paintings went up to 18.2% within a 0% tolerance that is higher than the one of the original painting that had 12.5% even with a 2.9% tolerance. Here, 2.9% tolerance is in the range of the just noticeable difference in vision. It may lead to the question about the original painting of the Mondrian. So which one is the original? What is the original? Also, the morphological descendants of the original exhibited their own characters with maintaining a higher level of proportional balance than the one of the original. At the same time, the generated morphological descendants show their stylistic resemblance to Mondrian's paintings in the contemporary years of the original painting. The figures on the screen show the comparison of the stylistic reproductions to Mondrian's other paintings at different times. The descendants have been applied for the motif of a facade design. The facade design is introduced as an architectural application, and it came from differentiating the heights of the rectangular partitions of the descendants. The proposed approach of the stylistic reproductions will be further developed in the design of a building layout. Thank you for watching this presentation.